There are insults that can be forgiven, words that wound, actions that provoke anger, and provocations that ignite competition. And then there are violations, sacred lines crossed, acts so disrespectful, so deliberately offensive, so universally condemned, that forgiveness becomes impossible, restraint becomes weakness, and mercy becomes betrayal. This is the account of one such moment, when a white boxer, standing before thousands, committed an offense so unforgivable that Bruce Lee, a man celebrated for control, a warrior defined by discipline, a philosopher who preached restraint, did something he had never done at any point in his career. In all his years of combat, for the first and only time in his life, Bruce Lee entered a ring with the intention to kill, not to defeat, not to win, not to demonstrate superiority, but to kill. And everyone present, every witness who saw what unfolded, agrees on one point. If that fight had not been stopped, if officials had not intervened, if Bruce had been permitted to continue, the boxer would have died in that ring that night, and Bruce would not have stopped himself. Hong Kong, 1970, the height of colonial tension, British rule, Chinese resentment, East versus West, not only politically but culturally and spiritually. The prevailing feeling among Chinese citizens: we are second-class inhabitants in our own city. The British, the whites, look down on us, treat us as inferior, mock our culture, dismiss our traditions, call us weak, call us lesser, and we are exhausted by it. Into this powder keg arrives a boxer, American, though some say British. Reports differ. What does not differ, what all accounts agree upon, is that he is white, large, arrogant, and openly racist. His actual name does not matter. What matters is what he embodies: colonial superiority, white dominance, Western arrogance. He comes to Hong Kong not to compete with respect, but to conquer, to humiliate, to prove that Western boxing, that white power, is superior to Chinese martial arts, superior to Asian culture, superior to everything the Chinese hold sacred. He fights 3 Chinese martial artists and defeats all 3, brutally, not through refined skill, but through sheer size, force, and violence. He knocks out men who weigh 40 pounds less, men who train their entire lives, men who represent their community, their heritage, their people. And after each victory, he mocks and taunts. He insults not only his opponents, but the entire Chinese community, the entire Chinese culture, every Chinese spectator watching. The Chinese martial arts world is humiliated, furious, but powerless. This boxer stands 6'3", weighing 230 pounds, a heavyweight. Most Chinese martial artists are 5'7", 5'8", 150 pounds at most. The size difference is enormous, unfair, nearly impossible to overcome, or so it seems. Then someone mentions Bruce Lee. Bruce is in Hong Kong teaching, training, building his reputation. Still young, only 30, but already a legend among martial arts circles. Known for speed, for power, for technique that transcends size. Could Bruce, could anyone, stop this boxer? Could someone defend Chinese honor? The challenge is issued through traditional channels, through the martial arts community. Bruce Lee versus this white heavyweight boxer, in a ring, under rules, beneath lights, before the entire city. The boxer accepts instantly, eagerly. He has heard of Bruce Lee, has seen the films, and assumes it is all choreography, wire work, camera tricks, movie magic. He believes Bruce, like the other Chinese fighters, will be easy. Another humiliation, another victory, another chance to mock Asian culture. Bruce accepts, but reluctantly, not because he fears losing. Bruce never fears losing. He hesitates because he understands this is not about sport. This is about race, culture, colonial oppression, about generations of humiliation. Whatever happens in this fight will carry consequences far beyond the ring. Beyond sport, this is politics. This is history. This is the dignity of every Chinese person resting on his shoulders. The night arrives. The arena is full, 2,000 people, perhaps more. 90% Chinese, 10% British and American expatriates. The Chinese section sits silent, tense, hopping, praying. Please let Bruce win. Let someone finally defend our honor. Let someone show that we are not weak, that our culture is not inferior, that we are worthy of respect. The white section is loud, confident, arrogant, placing heavy bets on their champion, their representative, making jokes loud enough for the Chinese audience to hear. About kung fu, about Bruce, about Chinese fighting being dance-like, weak, inferior. The racial tension is thick, volatile, one spark away from eruption. Bruce enters. Simple black shorts, bare feet, no gloves, traditional martial arts rules. The boxer enters. American flag shorts, boxing gloves, massive, intimidating. The size difference is staggering. The boxer looks twice Bruce's size. 90 pounds heavier, 6 inches taller, 6 inches longer in reach. A giant beside Bruce, who appears almost small, almost delicate. The Chinese section sees the size difference and grows anxious. Can Bruce truly overcome this? The referee delivers instructions, simple rules. No biting, no groin strikes, no eye gouging. Everything else is allowed. This is not Olympic boxing. This is real fighting. During the referee's briefing, the boxer stares at Bruce, trying to intimidate him. Bruce meets his gaze, calm and focused, unshaken, unimpressed, simply ready. The first round begins. The boxer, confident, charges forward aggressively and throws heavy punches. Bruce slips, dodges, makes him miss again and again. The boxer, increasingly frustrated, swings harder and misses wider. Bruce still does not fully engage. He is studying, learning, observing. The Chinese audience begins to cheer. Bruce is not losing, is not being overwhelmed. He is making this giant look clumsy, slow. Maybe, just maybe, Bruce can win. The boxer, now angry, abandons technique and starts talking, trash-talking loudly in English. The Chinese crowd does not understand the words, but they understand the tone, the contempt, the racism. He mocks Bruce, mocks Chinese martial arts, mocks kung fu, calling it dancing, calling it fake, calling it inferior. Bruce does not respond. He does not take the bait. He just keeps fighting, slipping punches, landing quick strikes, not heavy blows, just scoring points, waiting for the right moment. The round ends. Bruce returns to his corner. The Chinese spectators are encouraged. Bruce is winning on points, faster, smarter. Maybe things will turn out fine. Between rounds, the boxer does something strange. He walks to a corner of the ring where someone has draped the Chinese flag, the red flag with 5 stars, the flag of the People's Republic, but also the symbol of Chinese people, of Chinese culture, of Chinese identity. That flag represents every Chinese person watching. The boxer grabs the flag. The arena goes silent. What is he doing? He holds it up for all to see. Then, deliberately, intentionally, with full awareness, he throws it onto the canvas and steps on it with his boot, grinding his heel into the flag, into the symbol of an entire people. The arena erupts, not with noise, but with something far worse, silence. Stunned, horrified, disbelieving silence. Did that just happen? Did a white man truly desecrate the Chinese flag in front of 2,000 Chinese spectators in Hong Kong, in China? Then the noise comes, not cheering, not booing, but something primal, ancient, dangerous. A collective raw rage, violation enough. The Chinese crowd jumps to their feet, screaming. Some attempt to climb into the ring. Security fights to restrain them. This is no longer sport. This is war. Bruce watches from his corner. He sees the flag on the ground beneath the boxer's boot. He sees his people, his culture, his identity being trampled. And something that has never broken in all his years of training, discipline, meditation, philosophical study, finally snaps. His cornermen see it too. They watch Bruce's face transform. The calm, the control, the discipline, gone, replaced by something they have never witnessed in Bruce or in anyone. His eyes change. Not angry eyes, worse, dead eyes, cold eyes, a killer's eyes. His jaw tightens. His hands clench, not into fists for fighting, but into hands for killing. One corner man, an old master who has known Bruce for years, grips Bruce's shoulder and tries to speak. Bruce turns his head and looks at him. The master immediately steps back and releases his shoulder because what he sees in Bruce's eyes terrifies him. This is not the Bruce Lee he knows. This is no longer a martial artist. This is no longer a competitor. This is a killer preparing to kill. The bell for round 2 rings. Bruce rises. The referee tries desperately to restore order, trying to remove the flag. The boxer stands on it still, smirking, proud of his provocation, convinced he has angered Bruce, made him emotional, made him sloppy. He believes an angry fighter is already defeated. He is wrong. Bruce steps to the center of the ring. The referee is still trying to manage the chaos. Bruce ignores him and walks straight toward the boxer. The boxer sees Bruce advancing and lifts his gloves, ready for what he assumes will be an emotional, sloppy, reckless attack. What happens next? Witnesses disagree on details, but they all agree on one thing. Bruce Lee struck with a speed, a violence, and an intent no one had ever seen from him, or from anyone. Not martial arts, not sport, not competition. Assassination, execution, murder. Technically, Bruce's first strike is a punch to the throat. Full power, designed to crush the windpipe, designed to kill. The boxer does not see it, cannot block it, cannot defend it. The strike lands clean. He stumbles backward, gasping, choking. Bruce does not wait, does not pause, does not allow him to recover. He follows instantly with an elbow to the temple, full force, meant to fracture the skull, to cause a brain hemorrhage, to kill. The boxer's head whips sideways. Blood streams from his ear immediately. He is in grave danger. The crowd, the Chinese crowd, erupts into madness. Not cheering, screaming for blood, for death, for justice, for revenge. Centuries of colonial humiliation, decades of racism, years of being called inferior, all released in that single moment. The crowd screamed for Bruce to finish him, to kill him, to make him pay, and Bruce intended to. His next strike, a knee to the ribs, fractured 3. Everyone heard the cracks. The boxer fell to his knees, helpless, injured, broken. Bruce lifted his foot for a kick to the head that every person watching understood would end the boxer's life. The angle, the power, the target, this was not a knockout kick. This was an execution. The referee dove between them, shouting, "Stop, stop, the fight is over, you won, stop." Other officials scrambled into the ring, 5 of them, grabbing Bruce, pulling him back. Bruce resisted, still trying to reach the boxer, determined to finish what he had begun. His eyes remained dead, cold, fixed on killing. It took 6 men to drag Bruce to his corner, to restrain him until, slowly, gradually, he returned to himself. The killer's eyes faded. Human eyes returned, and Bruce realized what he had almost done, what he wanted to do, what he intended to do. He sat in his corner and cried. Not from victory, not from emotion. From shame. From horror. From the realization that, for the first time in his life, he truly wanted to kill someone, not defeat, not outperform, but kill, and he would have, had he not been stopped. The boxer was taken out on a stretcher, fractured skull, broken ribs, crushed windpipe, ruptured eardrum. 2 months in the hospital. His career over. His life permanently altered. Lucky to be alive. The flag was retrieved from the canvas, cleaned, folded, and handed to Bruce, who held it and cried, because he realized he had almost dishonored it by becoming a murderer, by letting rage overpower discipline, by becoming what he stood against, violence without restraint. Years later, when asked about the fight, Bruce would only say, I am ashamed, not of fighting, not of winning, but of what I wanted to do, of what I would have done. The boxer crossed a line that cannot be crossed. The flag represents my people, my culture, my family, every Chinese person watching. He did not just insult me. He insulted everyone, everything I hold sacred. And for the first time in my life, I wanted to kill. But then he added, "That is not martial arts. That is not discipline. That is not philosophy. That is not the way." And I almost forgot the way. Because of a flag. Because of an insult. Because for one moment he forgot that being Chinese, being strong, being honorable, means controlling violence, not releasing it. He stepped on a flag, Bruce said, but I almost stepped on my own principles. And that, he explained, is the real fight, not the one in the ring, but the battle within ourselves, between what we want to do and what we should do. That night, Bruce said, I won the fight but almost lost myself, and the real victory was not defeating him, but stopping myself from becoming what I am not, a killer. That is the difference between a fighter and a warrior. A fighter fights to win. A warrior fights to protect, including protecting himself from himself. That night, Bruce learned that the hardest opponent is not the one standing in front of you, but the one inside you. And the greatest victory is not over others, but over the darkness within.